Hey guys, it's Mario at Florida Flexible. I wanted to take a minute here today and do this quick video about separating spot colors in Photoshop. I'm using Photoshop CC, and I grabbed an image off the internet just to kind of use it as our trial. Um, the first thing I want to show you guys is how to determine whether this image is actually worthy of separation. What happens is that by zooming in, I could actually take a look at the areas where the pixelation can be seen, and that in itself right there should tell you that if you try to separate this image, you will get areas that are vacant, and then they don't line up with the other color correctly. So it's a waste to basically embark on the separation when you see something like this. Another spot here under image size, right here under resolution in this area, we'll be able to tell if the image in fact is 300 dpi. And that's kind of what you need to demand from your customer. And hopefully you're working with a file that it is 300, in fact 300 dpi, and it has been vectorized. I'm going to cover on a separate video the vectorization process, but for now, let's switch over to one that has already been vectorized, which the difference is clear right here. I will begin by basically determining what am I printing on the shirt. Is the color of the shirt is one of the first things we want to ask. What is this design going on? And what I would say is, if you're not sure, make your separation considering that you may have to print this white as a layer. So without us knowing, I'm going to go ahead and start removing the background, because that is really something we need to do regardless. So we're going to start by taking off the background, and then what's left is what we're going to print on the shirt. And if we want to basically just begin the separation with the white ink, doesn't mean that we're going to end up using it as part of the separation, but you might as well have it already separated in case it's something that needs to go on, let's say, a gray shirt or something like that. So my first step is to basically switch my tools to the magic wand, and then what I'll do is I'll start selecting the first part of the white, and then I'm going to go ahead and take onto select similar, and then all the other white areas are going to get selected that are similar, obviously, to the first selection that I made. Then I'm going to go layer, new, and then I'm going to go copy. So with copy, I have the actual layer of the white area shown here. So as you can see right here, this is just the white aspects of this file right here on layer number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly double click there, and I'm going to relabel that. I'm going to name it the white. So this is my white screen right here. I'm going to turn on my next layer, my main layer, my layer 1. I'm going to go in and come with my magic wand. I'm going to select the next color and do select similar again. And I'm going to follow the same step I did before, which is layer, new, and then copy. That should be our navy blue layer. So I'm going to go ahead and call it navy blue. Again, I'll do that by double clicking right there. All right, so I'm going to take off this one, turn on my main layer again, and then I'm going to move on to my next color, which in this case is the red. And I'm going to go select, similar, and then I'm going to go layer, new, and copy. So there we go. And this is our red layer. Perfect. Take it off. And then our last color is going to be our yellow gold. So I'm going to go select, similar. And it looks like there is a couple of other spots here, here, and here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and do layer, new, and copy. And there is our yellow gold, and we're going to call it yellow gold. All right. These little areas right here, if you don't want these areas to be printed for whatever reason, we could use the marquee tool right here, and we could literally take this stuff right here and we could move it to another layer. And we're going to cut it out of this layer, and we're going to do the same thing to this little guy right here. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because perhaps for some reason these are things that should have been another color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them, and here they are. So only these two right here. So I'm going to control select these two right here. I'm using the control key on my keyboard and I'm selecting. So for example, if I want to select that layer plus that layer, or in this case, this layer, I just need to make sure that my layers are on, and then I hold the control key and boom, I select that. And then now I'm going to group them together. So sometimes people tell me, I can't find the group. What do I group? Because in many programs you use grouping. In this case, we're going to use the word merge. So we're going to merge the layers that we have selected. And only those layers are the ones that are on, as you can see. So if for some reason and I'm going to zoom in here and take a look, if I want that stuff to be red, or if I don't want it at all, if I don't want it at all, if that red doesn't need it, then that's not part of the red. It's just a shadow that maybe during vectorization it got picked up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just forget about that. I'm going to forget about this yellow stuff, and then what I'll do is I'll cancel it, and then I'll delete it right off the total here. And then all I have left to work with is this one right here. And this will be my yellow gold, and then this will be my red, this will be my navy, and then of course this is my white. So now I have all of my colors separation. This is a 4-color separation, as you can see right here. In the event that we are not going to be using the white, and because our t-shirt is actually going to be white, then we would only do a 3-color separation. We would only output these 4 right here. Now I'm going to move on to doing the steps on outputting the film. So I need to convert these individual layers from the color that they are to black. And that's the reason why we use copy when we're separating. We use copy, that way the original file can stay intact for a number of reasons. The clarity of the color, the accuracy of whatever the customer originally wants in the file. All of these things are going to remain here with file 1 while we convert everything else to black. Okay, so we're going to start with the first navy blue. I'm going to control and select inside of this box right here. This gives us this wiggly lines right here. That means that all of that inside of this layer has been selected. And then I'm going to go edit, I'm going to go fill, and then I'm going to pre-select here my black 100%. So there. And then I'm going to do Control D to deselect. I'm going to take off my layer, turn on my next layer. In this case will be the red. And then do the same thing, edit, fill, turn it black. I'm going to Control B for deselect. And then I'm going to do yellow again, boom, boom. And I'm going to go ahead and go fill, black. Same process, same process again and again. So here's our gold, here's our red, here's our navy, and then let's just do our white while we're at it. We also want to convert that to black, since there is a possibility we are going to be printing it as well. So here's every layer has been completely turned to black. Okay. Now we're going to move to doing what we would consider our let's say our separation marks. And for that, we're going to go ahead and turn on the original file, which has all the colors in here. I need to be able to place a registration mark. And the registration marks should be something visible, something easy for us to use on the press when we're aligning these screens on the press. There is no room here to actually place it. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the canvas. So if I go to my moving tool right here, this is my moving tool at the top, right? I notice that I have basically a border around the image. Now, some people tell me I don't get that when I select this particular tool. Make sure that your Show Transform Controls is on and checked. And if it is, you will get that every time. Makes it easier so you know where the image starts and it ends, okay? Let's go ahead and go to our cropping tool real quick. And then we're gonna get these little corner areas right here, which allows us to basically stretch the canvas up or down so that we can actually put the registration marks in place, right? So for registration marks, you can use anything. You can use custom shapes if you want, or you can use text. I prefer text, it's very easy. I want my text in black and I want it very visible. So I'm gonna use something like Arial font, which is, it's easy to make a plus sign right here. I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come to transformation right here to my transform properties. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it like probably 80. And that way it's very visible. I'm going to start moving my registration mark to actually center it. And I get these purple lines that are telling me where I'm in the middle. So now there's a horizontal and a vertical line coming up, right? The closer I get to my design, the horizontal line comes up, meaning you don't want to get past that area. In reality, eventually we're gonna cover these registration marks on the press. So you don't want it too close to the image, and you accidentally could tape up part of the image while you're printing. So we're gonna respect that horizontal line, and then the center line is going to tell us where we're in the middle of the design. Okay, so now we got the top one ready, and then I'm going to use the Alt key on my keyboard, and I'm going to click and drag down using my Shift. And that centers for me the top and the bottom marks that I just created, putting them exactly in the middle. Now I'm going to take off my layer one here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on each individual layer, and I'm going to send these layers to print. And as we proceed to doing that, depending on what our uh, printer is, we have different printers here, so we're gonna select our Epson 400, which is the one that we use for our films. We go into our print settings. It's very important that we take a look at these settings right here before we print. We want this black to be as black as possible so that our process of burning and developing actually happens correctly. So we're gonna do color. We're gonna switch that to grayscale. Our photo premium paper, preferably because it's a thick film that you're using. Our speed or quality should really be more quality than speed. So we're going to take this quality level and take it all the way to the max. We're going to remove the high speed, right? In my case, my printer happens to have an optimizer for gloss for pictures and stuff. We don't need that, so I'm going to shut that off. You may not have that on your printer, but the key here are going to be the key areas are going to be the high speed and your quality. Those are going to be your two most important. Okay. Some people also they move into this area for advanced and they try to make it as black as possible. This helps sometimes in some of the printers to get that denser black as much as possible. And then the final thing would be adjusting your size. So in this case, my image is about 11 or so. So I'm going to go straight to my 13 by 19 film. Uh, and I'm going to click OK. And right there, I can see that. Another thing I want to do is basically put the label of what this file here that we took the time to label and put navy blue here. We want to put that up here so people can see what that file is supposed to be. And then once I have that done, pretty much it's just send it to print and put your film in your printer. And as you print, you will turn this one off and turn on the next one. Now remember to click on this bar here when you're sending it to print. So if I'm sending the navy blue to print, not only I have this little eye on and I have my two registration marks on, but I also have it highlighted here. I don't want to have this highlighted. I want to have this highlighted because if I want the computer to put the label of what I wrote here, I have to be in this layer. So if I switch from navy to print the red, click the red. That way it'll say red on the top area when you send it to print. And my friends, that's everything I got for you guys right now. Check out the rest of our videos. There's a couple there on how to vectorize. And obviously we didn't cover anything on halftones in this video because this is strictly a spot separation process, as basic as it gets. Thank you for watching.